My name is David Hunter. I'm originally from Boston, Massachusetts. I was born and raised there. I went to school there. I graduated from Berklee College of Music in 2002, which seems like a really long time ago now. But then shortly after that, I moved to New York City, where I've lived up until January of 2016. So now I'm a resident here in Nairobi, Kenya, as of February of this year. Oh man, career breakthrough. You know, so interesting. Like, I guess on some levels, it really depends on what the breakthrough would be defined as. So for me, I was able to get into the music industry. I worked at Jive Records and Verity Records in the marketing department for a while. Did some A&R stuff, and then from there, I went right into production because I started a production company, and so I was able to get some music placed on some movies. One of which is with Kelly Rowland and Dwayne Martin, and called The Seat Filler, and some other projects with LL, and so that was like kind of like the point where, as in the industry, where I started to get some recognition as a producer, and so I produced this last project I did was with an old gospel artist. I don't want to say old, I say legendary gospel artist named Ron Canoli. So I just recently produced his album for him. So these are like it's like kind of like a consistent kind of thing, you know how it is in the industry.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You know what, the thing is, Kenya is etching her own way. Like, it's like she has her own momentum, her own style, her own approach, and it's unique. And I think that for me, kind of coming in from the American culture, my posture really is to try to learn as much as possible, if anything, but then also to try to encourage Kenyan artists to be proud about their voice and their sound that's unique to them. And if anything, we have a company called AADI, which is the African Artist Development Initiative, which is here stationed in Nairobi and also in New York City. But we're specifically, trying to touch base with the industry here to create, Kenyan artists that will be able to compete in the global marketplace. But really, it's just really to inspire those artists, those same artists, to be proud of who they are, be proud of their unique voice, and then, using our relationships and a little bit of what I've learned in the industry to, partner with them so that we can, see their music, do well, throughout the world. Oh, I think, first of all, I think Kenyan music is amazing, and it's part of the reason why I'm here. I was so inspired by it and so moved by it. So it was one of those situations where, actually my first time coming to Nairobi was in September. So I had an opportunity to work with June Gashui, who is a good friend of mine. That's like my sister, it's my heart. So she would come to New York every now and then, and we'd work on songs. We'd write a bunch of songs. And so the first time she flew me out was in September. So I came and I had a chance to work with Blinky Bill and Kaz Lucas and Sage. All of these artists are like amazing, top. So it's like, it's one of those situations for me, where I've had the opportunity to sort of hear what's happening here, and at the same time to also be inspired myself. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, so June Gashui, I have I think about 4 or 5 songs on her new album that's coming out in August. I hope that's right. It's coming out, it's gonna be released. I think the release date is gonna be in August. And she, her sound, June she's June Gashui. I don't know if there's really much to say outside of her just being amazing, right? And so, but on that album, I'm also working with Blinky, so he and I are working on a song together. And so it's just those sounds, those unique sounds, kind of all coming together to create this new, element. And I think it's awesome. I think it's going to do really, really well. I'm hoping that everybody, really takes to it and enjoys it. Honestly, outside of June's project and some of my own stuff, and really just sort of focusing on the company right now, not at the moment. Is always going to be music, obviously, because of I'm a producer by trade. That's actually what I do. So I'm always going to actually be creating new music. But as it pertains to a specific project at this particular point outside of June, not at the moment, no. Yeah. Well, really, what I want to do is to get AADI established, to get us the opportunity to be recognized, not just throughout the the West, but also all over the continent, here in Africa. So that's the goal. With our partnerships with Berklee College of Music and ADMI and other institutions, we're going to definitely, that's the goal right now. That's what our focus is, to develop artists to be able to compete in the market. Well, my driving force is passion, you know what I mean? I've always been passionate about Africa, and been so much so to the point where I was like, I have to move here, and really the posture obviously is to learn as much as I can, because African Americans, we don't really have much of an identity or history, or some of us that don't really know our heritage. So that's really what my posture is, and then pretty much whatever I've learned is just for the service of my fellow brothers and sisters here in Africa. I just want to give all that I have and all that I am to that. I'm committed to that notion. But then balancing all of that out, has been easy, because the family, daddy's always. I've done a lot of work in West Africa, so I've always come back and forth. And so now that I'm here, everybody's excited. So it's just everybody's kind of all in at the same time too. So everybody's excited. So yeah, that's kind of like the the mindset. Yeah. Oh man, I love chapati. I kind of like, I'm really still getting accustomed to the food here, but I think like chapati is like my favorite right now. Ugali, yeah, ugali too. But I just love wrapping stuff with that. If I can say this reverently, my advice would be, don't look at yourself like you're in competition with anybody. Be influenced, be inspired, be motivated by different people and different artists, but recognize what makes you who you are. Get in touch with your voice, get in touch with what makes your sound unique, and then be proud of that, and you be committed to that 100%. Don't allow anybody to discourage you. Don't allow anybody to, and don't compare yourself to other people as much. Know what sounds good, know what quality is, and invest in that. Give your time to that. Practice, and then at the same time, practice performing if you're a performer. Practice producing if you're a producer. But look at what the gifts that you have from above as unique to you, and give it all you have. That would be my advice. Recognize what makes you special, and commit to it. Yeah.